Hey folks, my guest today is Tony Urban. He's running a company called DeckRobot, which makes slide decks with one click. He's an ex-McKinsey folk who turned into a serial entrepreneur. Tony, you ready to take us to the top?
Sure thing.
All right, slide decks are obviously a hot space. Everyone's pitching, everyone wants capital. How many decks did you produce in the past 12 months, would you say?
Myself, I probably produced like 20.
No, I mean all your
Uh,
users using your
oh,
technology.
all users like thousands and thousands.
Thousands.
I don't even
Okay,
know. Yeah, it's like many thousands.
many thousands.
We
So
have
listen,
some
I want,
users like one user producing 7,000 slides a month.
wow. And is that, who are these power users? Are they agencies typically?
So they're internal agencies like designers working for big professional services firms like Big Four, Big Three.
Yep.
So they're
Yep.
just slide machines.
Now, they're slide machines. That's what you were at McKinsey, right? So you jumped into this in 2017. You came on back in 2019 and talked about your growth. You had passed, I think, about 10 customers at that point. How many customers are you serving now today?
Yeah, so right now it's more, but not that more. It's less than 20. The secret is easy, which is growing inside existing accounts. So we normally start with like small pilots and then small scale projects, and then just get more and more. So our
Yeah.
largest customers having like 250,000 PowerPoint users. So we might have ended up having 5 customers, so it will be more than enough to become a unicorn.
So you have between
So
sort of 10 and 20 total customers right
yeah,
now.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Help me understand a little bit around what they pay per month on average.
That really differs. That's why we don't publish our pricing on the website. I would only say that it's like more than 10 times they pay for Microsoft Office itself. And the reason is very simple. The productivity gain is such that they have at least 200% ROI. But it really differs. An auditor would spend different time in PowerPoint than a designer than a real estate agent or metals factory producer.
Yeah. Let me ask
So
the question a bit differently. Don't name the
yeah.
customer, but the customer that pays you the most per month, what do they pay per month?
Yeah, so they pay 197.
$197,000 per month.
No, 197 per user per month
Okay, got it. And
for one user.
how many users do they have
For the largest one,
for your largest customer? Yeah.
yeah, it will be another one if you take the largest in terms of revenue overall. But the biggest accounts we right now have 15,000 employees, but they have different price tag.
Got it. What I'm trying to get to is just
Yeah,
what's the one company you work with that pays you the most, and what do they pay you all in, like
if you
total per
try
month?
if you're trying to understand the largest contract we have, I wouldn't disclose it.
Uh, Tony, I'm not asking for you to name the largest customer. I'm trying to get a
Yeah,
sense of how large your swath is between your lowest price customers and your and the ones paying you the
sure,
most. I'm just asking
sure.
you all in the customer that pays you the most.
Okay,
What do they pay
okay,
you total per month?
okay. Yeah, so we have 3 tiers of customers. The smallest contracts are anywhere from 100K to 300K. The average is 300 to 700K, and the biggest are the multi-million engagements.
Okay,
So
got it.
that's how
So,
it's
so
split.
someone listening right now might go, wait a second. Somebody's making slide decks and paying Tony $300 or $700,000 per year to make slide decks. I don't
Yeah,
understand.
minimum.
Help them understand.
Yeah, that's very easy. So if you count the amount of time you spend on PowerPoint and multiply by your salary only, you'll already be surprised. So most of our customers are making slides like 2 hours a day, 5 hours a day, earning 100, 115K per year after fancy MBAs. And that does not include the office costs, etc. And this is just the one small reason of having DeckRobot. Actually, the bigger reason is to win the proposals. They have a bigger win rate to win new
Yep.
business, and that's where a lot of decks are used. And one more reason: large corporations want their documents to be on brand, to be consistent, and that's what we do.
And Tony, last time you came on, you said you'd raised about $200,000. Have you stayed bootstrapped since then, or did you raise more capital?
Now we raise a bit more, so we announced overall 2.5 mil.
Okay, so you raised another 2.3 million.
Since then, yeah, it's like.
Well, why did you need to raise more capital?
Well, I ask myself the same question every time we raised. Do we really need this? So, quick answer: the enterprise cycle is quite long, so we can afford growing sustainably and a slow pace based on the cash we have from the business. But that's going to be slow. So if you look at our competitors like SyncCell, it took them 10 years, more than 10 years to be substantial in the size.
Mhm.
Um, venture capital is basically a short-living drug which gets you high in terms of your growth. So it just helps you to have more people everywhere in the product development, in the sales. So that's why we decided to do this.
And tell
So
me
the
more
last
about
time, yeah, go ahead.
the team. So you raised additional capital. I think you did what was it, a $700,000 convertible note in 2018, and then a $1.5 million price seed round in 2020, right?
Yep.
And walk me through the team today. Last time you came on, you said you had about 20 people. How many folks today?
Pretty much the same.
Okay.
But
What's the breakdown?
but
How many engineers?
but there is, yeah, right now there is 18. But what we do, we consistently improve the grade of our employees. So whether we fire those who do not perform as we want, or we just grow existing employees. So from the time we spoke with you last, I think we have 5 stayed with us, and they really progressed nice. So if you look at our team 2 years ago, it was much more junior, a lot of support roles. Right now, all the support is outsourced, and folks in the team are very senior. So that's the difference. And we want to stay small in terms of headcount.
I understand. How many of the 20 are engineers?
So right now, engineers are half.
So 10 of them are engineers.
Yeah. But I think that's going to.
Do they carry a quota?
Again?
The other 10, are they sales reps? And if so, how many carry a quota?
Sales plus operations. So you have also talent, you have ops, you have finance. So
yeah. So Tony, the question was, of the ones that are in sales, how many of them are carrying a quota?
3
Okay,
with quotas, but we have, just for you understand, we have a split sales process. So we have pre-sale, which has no quotas. We have post-sale, which also has no quotas. Because unlike other startups, which try to have this one-man show where one salesperson is covering everything from the lead generation to account success, we decided early on to split it. This makes more sense.
So if there's no quota pre-sale, and there's no quota post-sale, who's carrying a quota?
Yeah, only hunters. The 3 people who are hunters, they have quotas. They have to close the deals.
Meetings booked?
No, for the hunters, the cash quota, the sales quota. Yeah, okay. Of course.
And what is that? What is that annual cash quota? Is it like $1 million, something like that?
A bit over that.
Okay. And if they hit their quota, can they make about 1/5 of the quota target? So call it like 200 grand-ish, something like that?
Yeah. So basically, it's a percentage. So they bonus prorate on what they exceed on the quota. We have quite generous bonus structure because we want to grow.
Yeah, no, that's obviously important, scaling those sales teams. So where have you used the additional capital you raised if your team size is still basically the same as it was 2 years ago?
Yeah, so first of all, it is not the same as it was a year ago when the COVID hit. When COVID started, we downsized the team and left only the most senior folks. Then we basically replaced junior folks by senior folks when we raised capital. So in terms of headcount, we try to stay pretty much the same. In terms of the team cost, it actually changed a lot. And that's how we want to do it. So we want to have a small team, like our biggest competitor making hundreds of millions of revenue. They have like 50 folks in the whole team, including secretaries. So that's pretty much the target state. And you understand that a senior machine learning engineer can make the same as 10 junior folks.
Yeah. So, and what is your goal? What is your goal for this year? What revenue run rate do you think you can pass this year?
That we did not disclose, but the growth rate we plan is over 15x. So we have to grow.
What do you mean by that?
I mean, on every dollar we made January this year, we'll try to have $15 by December. So growing 15 times.
Are you on track? Are you on track to grow 15x?
So far, but we'll see. The Q4 is the most important for enterprise sales. So that's basically the crucial quarter when you can say, hey, we made it, or we actually missed the target.
Now, earlier you said you had between 10 and 20 customers, and the average ACV was between $300,000 and $700,000. So we just take a middle $500,000 average ACV times 15 customers. That would put you at about a 7.5 million run rate today. Is that accurate?
No, it's not accurate because you did not count the fact that Some of the customers already made the first initial stages when they have a pilot, then they have a small contract, which is 100K to 300K, and then it's scaled up. So different customers are on different life cycle. So if you do the math you did the way, you will overestimate the revenue here. But as I mentioned before, we do not disclose financial results, so we wouldn't give you the exact number. I'm sorry.
So if you're not at $7.5 million run rate today, is that something you think you can break this year, or do you need to wait another year to do that?
I think most likely it's going to happen next year.
Next year, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. And what's next? I mean, many people would argue a slide making tool is sort of a product, not a business. How do you make this a business? What other product things are you thinking about?
Yeah, well, if you look at our competitors, some of them are making like hundreds of millions in ARR. So it's quite a business. If you talk about SaaS with the margin rates.
Name your competitor with hundreds of millions in revenue.
ThinkCell.
ThinkCell?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can check
and they only do slide decks?
Oh, they do much better than DeckRobot. They do a plugin for PowerPoint, which helps you making data charts faster. It's a very niche.
They do a ton of stuff: data automation, process flow, Gantt charts, waterfall charts. This isn't just a slide.
Yeah, it's basically charts. Basically, charts and slides. So it's a small thing, but they already generate them a ton of income, and they're not like proactively looking for new customers. They don't have like large sales force. They don't have a fancy marketing budget. So it gives you the order of magnitude how can a vendor like us or them perform in this market. So the market is like hundreds of millions of bucks already. And
how do you know they're doing more than 100 million in revenue?
Oh, that's very easy. You can check the number of users they have. They publish it. They have over 800,000 users right now. And you can check the pricing. At some point, the pricing was open on the website. So if you multiply one by another, you can reconfirm it with a lot of firms on the market. Which know
but just because someone says they have 800,000 users doesn't mean all those users are paying. Actually, they're probably not. There's probably a very small percentage, like 2 or 3%.
No, actually, in their case, they actually shut down the trials. Probably they renewed, but they almost don't have trial users. It's almost 100% of the users have a pay.
How do you know that the 800,000 number doesn't include a bunch of grandfathered people that are on a free trial?
Sure. Let's say I have some other data points which reconfirmed my initial assumption. So I'm pretty confident that they're making over 100 million a year, actually way over that.
What other data points?
I would not disclose it, doesn't matter. You can also check there is a company called Templify. They raised a bunch of venture capital. They were Templify, T as Thomas, E as Enigma, like template and then Templify.
Got it.
F and Y at the end. I think they raised already like 60 mil or 50 mil, something like that.
Yeah, but this is more like a digital asset management play internal for companies to connect other companies.
Yeah, they're doing pretty much the same.
Not a slide deck tool.
They basically changing slide decks and changing logos in your documents. So it's pretty much the same market.
PandaDoc is sort of another company sort of playing in this space. So I mean, is this sort of where you see DeckRobot going?
It's the same space. So no matter how you position it to investors or someone else, these folks we see on the competitive landscape. These folks we are compared to Templify, ThinkCell, Upslide competitors. Whatever they claim on their websites, whatever they tell the investors, they play in our niche. There is a lot of other great folks around the block which are not existent in enterprise markets, like Peach.com, Beautiful.ai. They're just not our competitors.
Yep. Tony, do you think they can break $1 million run rate this year?
Again?
Do you think that you guys can break $1 million run rate this year?
Oh yeah, we already did.
Oh, well, congratulations then. So between $1 million and $7 million in revenue then. Not at $7 million, but north of $1 million.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap up here, Tony, with the famous 5. Number 1, what's your favorite business book?
It keeps changing. I wouldn't say that I have one favorite as of now.
Number
I think
2,
the latest one I read was Sales Acceleration Formula, which suggested to all sales entrepreneurs. It's a really good one.
Number 2, is there a CEO you're following or studying?
I would say Andrei Husid from Miro. I think they became unicorn last year.
Yeah.
I heard a lot of great things about them. Yeah.
Number 3, what's your favorite online tool for building the company?
Also a good question. I would say Outgrow is pretty good. We have recently discovered them because one of our competitors using. They help you to structure your outreach and the way you take on the leads, not the customers, but the leads. It's a pretty important one.
Right. Number 4, how many hours of sleep do you get every night?
I try to optimize for 8 hours.
And
that might sound old-fashioned.
Kids?
I'm married. I have kids.
No kids yet? How old are you?
We'll see. We'll see how long it will be.
How old are you?
Oh, I'm 30 years old.
30 years old. Last question.
Yeah.
What's something you wish you knew when you were 20?
I wish I moved to California earlier. Because especially before the COVID, it was useful to get right insights from the right people. Right now, it's a bit different.
Guys, there you have it. DeckRobot.com launched in 2017. They've raised $2.3 million today. The team of 10 engineers. They've broken $1 million run rate, but not at $7 million yet. They're serving 15 enterprise customers that pay between $100,000 and $700,000 per year for their deck creation tools. Tony, thanks for taking us to the top.
Thank you, Nathan.
One more thing before you go. We have a brand new show every Thursday at 1 p.m. Central. It's called Shark Tank for SaaS. We call it Deal or Bust. One founder comes on, 3 hungry buyers, they try and do a deal live, and the founder shares back-end dashboards, their expenses, their revenue, ARPU, CAC, LTV, you name it, they share it. And the buyers try and make a deal live. It is fun to watch every Thursday, 1 p.m. Central. Additionally, remember, these recorded founder interviews go live. We release them here on YouTube every day at 2 p.m. Central. To make sure you don't miss any of that, make sure you click the subscribe button below here on YouTube, the big red button, and then click the little bell notification to make sure you get notifications when we do go live. I wouldn't want you to miss breaking news in the SaaS world, whether it's an acquisition, a big fundraise, a big sale, a big profitability statement, or something else. I don't want you to miss it. Additionally, if you want to take this conversation deeper and further, we have by far the largest private Slack community for B2B SaaS founders. You want to get in there. We've probably talked about your tool if you're running a company or your firm if you're investing. You can go in there and quickly search and see what people are saying. Sign up for that at nathanlatka.com/Slack. In the meantime, I'm hanging out with you here on YouTube. I'll be in the comments for the next 30 minutes. Feel free to let me know what you thought about this episode. And if you enjoyed it, click the thumbs up. We get a lot of haters that are mad at how aggressive I am on these shows, but I do it so that we can all learn. We have to counter those people. We got to push them away. Click the thumbs up below to counter them and know that I appreciate your guys' support. All right, I'll be in the comments. See ya.